Hi, I'm Sophia Botha, and welcome to the latest edition of Botha Rants, where we go through all the political and LGBT news, which is of interest, well, at least interest to me. A few parish notices. Friday's show I wasn't too happy with. My own fault. I was knackered, and well, not every stream is going to be, awesome, is it? However, one picks themselves up off the floor, dusts themselves down, and continues. So hopefully tonight we'll have a really good show. Now, tomorrow, I'm hoping to also do a live stream. Yes, a return to the live streams on Tuesdays and Thursdays. I was going to do more scripted sort of videos on Tuesday and Thursday. Well, do them and then post them up some other time. However, I'm not really a scripted kind of girl. I need to be spontaneous. And I do really want to talk about ableism in the trans community, because unfortunately there is an issue with that. So tomorrow I'm hoping to do that. However, that might be at a later time because I am stuck at home at the moment due to medical advice. I can't go out. Yes, I know Boris has announced the slow easing of the lockdown today, but for those of us self-shielding, nothing much has fucking changed, nor will it until I get a vaccine, and I've heard fuck all about getting a vaccine. Anyways, I am joined tonight by Ozma. You there, Ozma?
Hello.
Yes. Ozma's returned. If you want to know why she's not been around, she's been making it snow over Texas.
That is definitely part of the reason.
Yeah. We'll get to all that. So on with the show, and we have a packed show. But before we get into all the stories, and believe me, there's a lot of stories tonight. First of all, just to say, this is Ozma's website, which you can check out.
I've updated it. I've actually put an effort to try to make it ease into links better.
Yeah, I mean, you've got more than one YouTube channel, haven't you? So really, this is the place for people to sort of check you out, isn't it?
Yeah, so I make sure I've made an easier link to the Fluid Voice and the main YouTube channel that might have content that says Ozma in the Dark. Well, the Fluid Voice will have content every twice a week.
Yeah. And I guess I'll be on Wednesday's show with Ozma. She's invited me on. Ooh. What's happened there? That's not meant to be showing. Don't know what happened there. Right, okay. Sorry, folks.
Went all the way to it decided, hey, I'm at the start of the links, and then I'm just gonna go all the way to the end of the links.
And if you want to give Ozma a follow on Twitter, this is where you can follow her. Look at that lovely photo of her. She's got, George Soros has really provided her with a beautiful meat suit. Mine isn't so great. She really does hide her reptilian self.
Sorry, there's a bit of a tear there. That's why I've got a mask on in the more recent photo.
Yeah. Oh no. Anyways, on with the show. Right. The COVID lockdown is like chattels of blacks. What the fuck? I mean, I should do some graphics, because this part of the show is sort of like appetizers to the main event. It's basically what the fuck, people. I mean, people going around saying that having to be considerate towards others and not spreading the fucking COVID-19 pandemic is like chattel fucking slavery. Fuck off, you inconsiderate cunt. Maybe, you should get out of mum's basement and stop reading Ayn Rand. And
no, that's not going to be a problem. This is
actually no. Sorry, I got that wrong. Actually, do stay in mum's basement, but stop reading Ayn Rand.
No. Nick Fuentes is not reading Ayn Rand. Nick Fuentes is reading Mein Kampf. Nick Fuentes is like a neo-Nazi. Nick Fuentes jokes about, makes jokes suggesting the Holocaust didn't happen. Like, Nick Fuentes is like...
Nick Fuentes sounds like a cunt.
Nick Fuentes is an awful person. But yeah, Nick Fuentes isn't reading Ayn Rand. Nick Fuentes is reading Mein Kampf.
Right.
100%.
Right. Now, so, this happened in Florida. A woman disguised herself as an old person to jump the vaccine queue.
You know what you have done? You've stolen a vaccine from somebody that needs it more than you. And now you're not going to get your second one. So that's a whole waste of time we just wasted here on this. And we're not even sure if they're going to press charges against you and take you to jail right now.
You see, here's the thing with COVID-19. It has just shown how inconsiderate some fucking people really are.
I mean, yeah, you're not wrong.
I mean, it's so sure. I've got a good circle of friends who are really supportive of me, But I've seen so many stories of just people being utter bastards. Anyways,
so we're at that point right here. But just for your selfishness of stealing a vaccine. Okay, this is a trespass warning. You're hereby warned that you are not authorized, licensed, or invited to be in these premises and may be arrested if you refuse to leave or return at any time in the future. It's this building, it's our other building, it's our site. Parking garage, everything. Anything, the whole property around here. You're not allowed to be here no more.
We would never be around.
It's ridiculous that you're here right now.
Yeah, and serves her right.
I mean, yeah. No, there's a lot of people who need the vaccine more. I don't know when I'm going to get the vaccine, honestly. But, like, I also hide away in my room 24/7. You should know that I never leave my room. It's outside of going to the bathroom. It's just a known fact.
Oh, right, yes. This is the typical, white people trying to play the victim. Why isn't there any history? Why isn't there a White History Month? We are important too. Because this obviously February is LGBT History Month and Black History Month. The reason why is white men have written fucking history.
Well, yeah, but also clearly this person hasn't paid attention to white history.
Yeah,
because that flag is a flag of oppression.
Yeah, exactly. I was about to say, you're proud to support slavery, are you? Because that's what that flag stands for. Yeah, is that what you're? The thing is, right? If there was a White History Month and as part of that, they talked about how white people have enslaved, various minorities over the centuries, they would complain.
Well, yeah, and it also doesn't help that a lot of Southern schools get misinformed about the Civil War.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think there's still some people in the South fighting it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yes and no. But yeah, it's very much, they're like, oh, it's about states' rights. No, it was genuinely about slavery, but um, a lot of school books that they use down south are specific school books that downplay the slavery and the cruelty that was done by the South. It's like a big problem.
At fucking last. I mean, here's the thing. Why has it taken the FBI and whoever the fuck else, right, to start investigating Alex Jones's links with the Capitol rioters? He's been going around posting fucking videos and writing articles saying, I help support, I help fund the Stop the Steal rally in Washington and led them to the Capitol Hill. I mean, he's been doing, saying this for the last 6 weeks, almost 2 fucking months, and yet, only now the FBI have decided, we better investigate him. Fuck's sake, I've been saying it since the day after, the Capitol riots, that they should be investigating Alex Jones. I mean, the thing is, we know that he's full of shit, right? So, how much involvement he really had in arranging the Capitol riots, who fuck knows? But if he is said that he was involved in a video, then the FBI should fucking arrest him on the face, on the face value of that, teach him a fucking lesson if he has been lying. Oh, and as for Roger Stone, well, why am I surprised that he's involved? I'm not actually surprised he's involved. And, if he's culpable, well, Trump ain't around to pardon his ass out of this one, is he?
Yeah.
Oh, talking of Donald Trump, here's some good news. Actually, I saw this not long before we came on air, so I decided to include it. The US Supreme Court declined Monday to block a New York grand jury from getting President Donald Trump's personal and corporate tax returns, a decisive defeat in his prolonged legal battle to keep his tax records out of the hands of investigators. Oh, right. Yeah, I don't know if you know, but New York State are investigating for, basically fiddling his taxes. This is good news.
Yeah.
In fact, actually, I think we all know that he probably is guilty of tax evasion or tax avoidance. Obviously, if he gets done for this, he ain't running in 2024, because by 2024, he'll be in prison.
I mean, yeah, hopefully.
Yeah.
The thing is, I don't trust. There's a weird thing in America when it comes to presidents and former presidents, where people don't want to throw them in jail, and it's kind of an issue.
I can't remember if Agnew because Agnew, who was Nixon's vice president, he had to resign because of tax evasion. But I can't remember if he ended up in jail. Let's hope. Oh. So, Milo has been banned from Parler. Yes, Parler. The free speech, utopia, which it's supposed to be, has banned Milo for this. Tomorrow, I will post Shapiro's cell phone number. Oh, because he's got a beef with Ben Shapiro. Yes, we'll be getting to Ben Shapiro a little later because he's been making a dick of himself. Well, what's new?
Yeah, well, Milo manages to make a dick of himself
But
all the time. Sure.
but the thing about Milo, right, is I actually think he won't be happy until he is completely and utterly cancelled everywhere, so he can play the victim. I actually know somebody who sat in a room with him and debated him. That's right, my friend Jane Fay. She actually debated him.
Okay.
Along with she was a bit put upon because it was Milo, Julie Bindel, and Jane Fay. Guess which one was the only one speaking up for trans people? Jane.
Yeah.
Exactly. So he's got banned for this. Well, just showing, of course, Lynn Wood has been banned, mainly because Parler's probably shitting itself that if Lynn Wood opens it to, I don't know what they call it on Parler, but their version of tweeting, posting or what the fuck ever. Lynn Wood posting about electoral fraud and Dominion. Of course, Parler's scared of getting sued because let's remember Sidney Powers facing a $1.3 billion lawsuit from Dominion for propagating shit about Dominion fixing the election along with Hugo Chavez, despite the fact that Hugo Chavez has been dead for almost 10 fucking years.
No. Don't underestimate. Look, we've got space lasers. We control the weather. So clearly, we must have like a dead puppeteering somewhere in there.
Yeah. We'll get on to all that in a little while. And of course, there's this. I know you've seen this. If you ever want to know what anti-Semitism is, this is anti-Semitism. Blaming Jews for anti-Semitism. That's anti-Semitism.
But it's like the most impressively circular I don't know how you can, it is so mind-bafflingly bad that I'm like, I don't know how you can write that and just not think, wait a minute, but I'm blaming the Jews for all of this. Wait, isn't that anti-Semitism?
Yeah, blaming the Jews. That's like blaming trans people for transphobia. Which, by the way, TERF do.
Well, yeah, but I mean, also, victim blaming is a thing.
Well, he says it's progressive Jews. Well, there's the odd exceptions such as Ben Shapiro, but most Jews do lean left. Most Jews are progressive. Sure, you're gonna get the some element. Well, most of the elements, I guess, in the Orthodox community, but generally, liberal and Reformed Jews are the majority of Jews.
Yeah.
And most of them are, culturally and politically progressive. So basically, what he is saying is that Jews are way too fucking progressive, and it's causing anti-Semitism. What? How the fuck?
Yeah.
That's basically. This is like this is very similar to the cultural Marxist fucking conspiracy theory, isn't it? It's saying that progressive Jews are basically they're trying to change society by being too fucking woke, and thus this is leading to a backlash of anti-Semitism. Well, that's the same bullshit as the cultural Marxist fucking conspiracy theory. Funny enough, this was actually a response to a post by Richard Dawkins being a dick. He wasn't being anti-Semitic, so I don't understand why this was posted in response to it. I mean, let's face it, Richard Dawkins is a dick. I mean, I've just over the year, obviously, 15, 20 years ago, I thought this guy speaks for me, as an atheist. But no, my estimations of Rich Dawkins have just gone down, 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 down.
Well, he seems to have gone. Richard Dawkins has gone the way of a certain sect of atheists on the internet, and it's just sort of gone to conspiracy theories and abandoned any sense of.
Well, the guy's meant to be a scientist, and he's meant to say we're meant to be led by science. Yet everything he seems to be spouting, him and good Jordan fucking Peterson, has fuck all to do with science, and just has to do with bigotry. By the way, what's really frightening about this is this tweet got over 1,000 likes.
Yeah.
Anyways. Right. So no one can go and visit anyone else in hospital at the fucking moment, right? But Prince Charlie, we can take a 200-mile round trip to go and visit, Prince Philip, his dad. So one rule for us, another for the fucking, monarchy. And as it goes, because Prince Philip obviously was admitted to hospital a few days ago. Here's my take on Prince Philip, right? He might look like Skeletor, but he's indestructible. You could have a nuclear war and there'll just be him and the fucking cockroaches left.
Yeah.
But I just think this is just yet another example of one rule for them, but not for us,
Yeah, obviously we don't have monarchy here in the United States. We have the pseudo-monarchy of the various rich people who oftentimes have their own rules.
Well,
we're an oligarchy
there was
here in the United States.
When I was choosing to pick which story, there was a tabloid about Prince Charles went on an emotional 200-mile round trip to visit his father. I went, it's not going to be exactly stressful. I mean, he's going to be chauffeured up there, chauffeured back, have his bum wiped. I mean, this is a guy who, he's so fucking pampered, he actually has his toothpaste put on his toothbrush for him. True story.
No, I believe that.
And do you know that there is still a position in the royal household, groom of the stool? Work that one out for yourselves.
Do they keep the stall warm too? Like what levels?
It's basically Queen Lizzie's bum wiper. Right. So if it's not Prince Charlie taking the piss, it's Prince William, his son. Now, of course, the brother of Prince Harry, who says he doesn't want anything to do with the royals anymore. Though Prince Harry will definitely be trading on the fact he's a Windsor for the rest of his fucking life, and I'm sure he'll make a mint from it. But anyways, Prince William basically says there's too many fucking people in this world. Cheeky bastard. Certainly too many fucking rich toffs in this world.
And it's also completely uneducated, that sort of position. There was concern about overpopulation back when we could only make so much food. Now we can make as much food as we want, and as societies get better, population starts to level out.
The thing is, every time he opens his gob and says something like this, he's feeding the fucking imagination of fucking Alex Jones with his New World Order conspiracy theory. About how, the wealthy want to depopulate the world. Look, do I think that there are problems with population? Yes, but I'm not going to tell anyone that they can't have a kid. Okay? And as it goes, if the royals weren't hoarding all their fucking money and spread the wealth a little, then we'd be able to bring up kids in better circumstances. I'm fed up with the royals are not elected, right? They answer to fucking nobody, okay? And they just go around, saying shit like this. That's what really pisses me off. Yeah, if this was Joe Biden, or I don't know, some other elected leader whose name I can't think of right at the moment, fine. They're accountable to the electorate for saying shit like this. But Prince William, he's accountable to no one.
Yeah. He has a position to do more, because he's rich.
Yeah, and also look at the situation with Prince Andrew, right? Now, okay, I have to be careful what I say here, but he was very friendly with Jeffrey Epstein, right?
Oh.
Yes. And there are certain allegations, and sure, he's withdrawn from public life, but do I think you'll ever see an inside of a jail cell for anything he might have done? No. Right? They are above the law, and I don't like that at fucking all.
Well, they seem to be a hang up on basically some people love the monarchy and wish things would go back. It seems like in the UK.
Well, the way okay, obviously the House of Commons is elected by the electorate, but the House of Lords, House of Lords is appointed by whatever government is in control in the House of Commons. The Queen, obviously, it's hereditary power. Now, some people say constitutional monarchy powers are very limited. She can technically dissolve Parliament anytime she wants.
Yeah.
Now,
but she's not going to, because there would be a revolution.
Well, yeah, but what I'm saying is there's always a danger. That's the problem. And I would like to also, the other anachronistic bullshit there is with the monarchy is the Queen is the head of the Church of England, right? Which has a ban on same-sex marriage. Okay. Yet, and technically that is the state religion still. It's only really the state religion in all but name, but it does actually cause problems in Northern Ireland. Let's just say that. So she's the head of the Church of England, which has a ban on same-sex marriage. Yet it's the patron of various LGBTQ charities campaigning for equality. See? That's a little bit of a contradiction, methinks.
Yeah.
Right. Ah, yes. So, finally, look, we've known this has been going on, right? So essentially, various government ministers have been using COVID-19 to award contracts to their business chums. And while the court has ruled, particularly on the PPE, personal protective equipment, contracts, that Matt Hancock, who is the health secretary, has acted unlawfully. There was actually a report which I went through last week in the New York Times. Why the fuck did I have to get information from the American press about our fucking government? Why is it our press don't seem to be all over this? Look, I remember back in the 1990s with the Tory government of John Major, and all the fucking scandals there were with sleaze and misconduct and fuck knows whatever else. The papers were all over it. The leader of the opposition, who happened to be a certain Tony Blair at the time, was all over it, right? None of that's happening at the moment. And then people saying, oh, it's because of COVID, you know, blah, blah. Look, if we are in a national crisis, however, unlike the Second World War, we don't have a national government. We still supposedly have a functioning opposition. And the opposition should be challenging the government about this. But they're not. Right? In fact, you know, Matt Hancock, he was on one of the, well, I think it was on, probably was, I didn't see either Ridge or Marlott yesterday. Those are the two sort of main political talk shows on a Sunday morning, a bit like Meet the Press. And I know he was, Matt Hancock was on Ridge. And basically, he was meant to have sat there and said, every time, you know, he was challenged about acting unlawfully, he said, I support my team. In other words, he's trying to pass the fucking buck. Typical fucking Tory. Anyways, as I say, where is our fucking opposition? Because, right, essentially, Matt Hancock should be made to resign. Government ministers have resigned for fucking less in the past, right?
I assume we're coming up to the Keir Starmer thing.
Yeah, we're coming up to my favourite section of the show, shit on Starmer. This is fucking unbelievable. Just listen to what he says about Matt Hancock.
No, I saw this.
Found to have acted unlawfully over not publishing these COVID contracts. Should he resign?
I don't want to call for him to resign. I do think he's wrong about the contracts.
You're the leader of the fucking opposition. It is your job to oppose the fucking government. You should be asking for his head on a fucking plate. Where is your fucking spine? In fact, we'll get to that in a minute. But fuck's sake. This guy last week, oh man, I completely lost it with Keir Starmer. Last week, you know, he made this big speech, right? Which only had one policy announcement, which was these recovery bonds, right, to help rebuild the country. And it was like, that would be a good idea, Keir, if people were actually able to afford to buy them. But no one's got any fucking money because of the fact because COVID has sent the economy down the fucking toilet.
Well, yeah.
And he thinks he's Clement fucking Attlee. Here's the thing. Clement Attlee, yes, on a personal level, he was quite a boorish character. I mean, he was a bookworm and a cricket fan and looked like a bank manager. But he was an idealist, right? He, after the Second World War, he, you know, basically had a vision to present to Britain of a better tomorrow. And, it's, you know, fuck Thatcher, fuck Blair. Yeah, it was Clement Attlee who is probably the greatest Prime Minister this country has had. I have certainly benefited from what his government did the most. You know, this country was fucking bankrupt and ruined after the Second World War, yet the Attlee government founded the NHS, built the welfare state, nationalised industry, you know, got the economy back up and running and got it to grow. Right? The extent of Keir Starmer's ambition is recovery bonds. What the fuck? You know? People want after all this COVID shit, you know, we are going to have to face some really bad austerity if the Tories get their evil fucking way. Right? People want a fucking alternative. They want someone to paint a vision. You know, I would say this for Tony Blair, right? Blair, to give him his credit, right, he could paint a picture of a better tomorrow. Yeah, he sounded like an evangelical preacher, I'll admit that. But right now, that is actually probably what people need. It's what people want to hear. But Starmer hasn't got any of that. Yeah?
Yeah.
This headline says it all. if this is opposition, I'm a banana. Starmer says he doesn't want Hancock to resign. I mean, yeah. That sums it up.
Yeah.
It
sums it up. Keir Starmer is basically a banana. That is where his spine is. It's not his spine is a banana.
Yeah.
And it's a wobbly one.
Yeah, you know, everything he does is fucking cringe. You know, we were all briefed about how this speech last week was going to be a big change of direction for Labour, and it just fell flat on his fucking face. Even his backbenchers were saying, this is really, dull. Fucking hell. Talking of helping get Keir Starmer a spine, there is actually a GoFundMe. There is a crowdfund. There's already raised 500 quid.
I mean, good on them, whoever did that, because chances are they could use the money with all this stuff going on. And I mean,
he hasn't got a fucking spine. He does need one. Yeah, I mean, I'm warning the Labour Party right now. You know, come May, they're not gonna do well at the local elections. And if they don't get rid of Starmer, right, then Labour are going to be seriously fucked come the next election. Because here's the other thing I keep hearing from fucking supporters of Starmer. It's like, well, we're 4 years out of a general election. Why do you expect him to come up with policies now? Because the next general election might not be in 4 years' time. You never know. Okay? You know, you need to be a government in waiting, right, with policies. You know, at the moment, no one knows. You know, they basically did a Vox pop. I think it was Channel 4 did a Vox pop in one of the northern towns, Bolton, I think it was. And basically, no one said, well, either they didn't know who he was or they didn't know what he fucking stood for. The only thing I know is that he basically, everything he stands for is anti-Corbyn. Well, in that case, then he's anti-socialist, and he's the leader of what is still technically a democratic socialist party.
Yeah.
I really say, you know, the other thing, because people say, well, you know, you just want another left winger in charge. Well, I'd gladly have Richard Bergen as Labour leader. You know, he's a firebrand with a brain. And I think, you know, he would lay some punches on Boris at the dispatch box. But here's the thing: even if you don't want, you know, even if the party didn't want to go for a left, someone on the left, I could name people on the right. Dan Jarvis would probably be pretty good. He would have to give up his mayoralship. He's mayor at some northern town, but he's still an MP. Also, Lisa Nandy, I think, might actually make a decent female leader. I think there are people who could do a fucking better job than Keir Starmer, because Keir Starmer just hasn't got it. He hasn't got that X factor. So, you know, and I know what the other accusation is going to be. Oh, yeah, give him time. Give him time. Excuse me. I remember not so long ago we were saying that about Jeremy Corbyn, and all the Blairites were going, you know, saying that wasn't an excuse. It's funny how the tables turn, isn't it? And in fact, we'll get to an example of that in a minute.
And also, I know you're talking about Tony Blair, but every time I hear Blair, I think about Blair White. I'm sorry. This is what happens when you're an American and you are aware of the internet.
Yeah. Obviously, I'm talking British political lingo here.
Well, yeah, no, I know. And I know like I said, I know you're talking about Tony Blair. I know that deep down, but my first instinct is always Blair White.
Yeah. Right. You know, even his own party is turning against him. This is a pro Labour blog. Let me just read you the first paragraph. For a Labour leader less than a year into the job, it must be embarrassing to be asked whether you still command the majority support among party members. Now, that's a crucial thing, because Jeremy Corbyn obviously never commanded support from the majority of the parliamentary Labour Party, but he always commanded a majority of support from the grassroots members. But such was the ignominy endured by Keir Starmer this week, and it comes as a clear indicator that the honeymoon is over. No shit. Yeah?
Wait,
Yeah.
wait, Keir Starmer had a free honeymoon?
Well, the honeymoon period that, I mean, I was prepared to give him a bit of a chance, but then he sacked Rebecca Long-Bailey, accusing of spreading anti-Semitic conspiracy theories, which she wasn't doing. I would know if she was somehow. Anyways.
She was the person that you interviewed on your channel, right?
No.
Oh, I'm thinking of someone else, sorry.
No, I'm
not as aware of British politics.
No, Jackie Walker was never an MP. No, Rebecca Long-Bailey was in the Shadow Cabinet, and there's an actress called Maxine Peake, and it was after the George Floyd death. Well, murder, shall we say. Because it was murder.
Yeah.
Maxine Peake gave an interview to The Independent where she said that the Israeli Defense Force had given workshops on using the tactics used on George Floyd to various police forces across the United States. And Rebecca Long-Bailey tweeted this. Keir Starmer then demanded that she took the tweet down or she gets sacked. And she said, no, I'm not taking the tweet down. So he sacked her.
Gotcha.
Now, basically people were saying that what Maxine Peake said was inaccurate. Well, yes and no. The Israeli Defense Force does give counter-terrorism workshops to various police forces across the United States. However, no one knows really if they actually taught them the netlock type tactic. So
yeah, the necklock tactic. I mean, there's a lot that gets there's a lot of information that gets spread around, and it's not.
Yeah, I mean, so
like the Krav Maga gun disarm techniques are relatively good quality from what I've seen, and a well set up system in terms of tactics and ability. That said, the Israeli government is awful. The government really needs different leaders.
Right.
Both in Israel and Palestine, admittedly, but
yeah.
Israel's in a better global position than Palestine.
So now this is from a year ago, but I was reminded of this over the weekend that, and this is actually pertinent to the direction which Starmer has been taking the Labour Party. Because I remember talking to, I think it was Christie and Aria about this. So David Evans was appointed General Secretary of the Labour Party last, when was it? May, yeah, it was May. I thought it might be June, but it was May. And he, now 20 years ago, he wrote a pamphlet saying that there should be less internal democracy in the Labour Party. Well, Starmer's been purging the left out of the Labour Party, suspending and expelling members who are on the left, and well, it's often the left who have said there should be more democracy within the Labour Party. Also, about 10 years ago, when UKIP started to have their surge, David Evans wrote an article saying that Labour should embrace social conservatism. What's Starmer been saying recently? Oh yes, he's been wrapping himself up in the Union Jack and banging on about patriotism. He's been doing a Nigel Farage, who of course was the former leader of UKIP.
Oh yeah.
So, methinks that David Evans has had some sort of influence upon the direction Keir Starmer's been taking. And it is not a good direction, because I can tell you that the party membership are not happy with this fucking direction at fucking all. Now, I did cover this on Friday, but we're going to cover it again because we've got in a bit of a tangle. Okay? This is James O'Brien, who's a radio talk show host here on LBC. And a socialist called in to criticise Keir Starmer. Watch what James O'Brien says.
Listen to the speech. I really try to keep myself listening to it because it was so dull. But the points he made...
Dull in delivery?
Yes, but that could have been a speech made by Jeremy Corbyn with sincerity. There's no sincerity in it.
Right.
It was just he thought what people wants to hear.
Right.
No sincerity at all.
Okay.
And I'm a lifelong socialist, and I wouldn't vote for him.
No. Well, there's a surprise, Ian.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I bet he had a really open mind before he started speaking.
Well, all he's done is attack members of the Labour Party.
Yeah, all right, mate. Have a great day. Yeah, let's keep on fighting among each other, Ian, because that will really stick it to the Tories. Am I right, or am I right, brother?
That's what he's been doing.
Come on, comrade, let's keep fighting. Let's go after him, because that will really teach Boris Johnson a lesson. Come on, comrade Ian, tell me again how awful Keir Starmer is.
Well, he could have pulled up the government on points without being opportunistic.
Right, an example of that?
Well, example is with the terrible treatment of businesses who were stiffed by insurers over business insurance.
And how can he, with 4 years until he gets into government, use that as a political leverage?
He could have publicised it.
Right.
He could be.
How do you know about it?
Transport workers.
How do you know about it?
How do I know about it? Because I've been following the story in the financial press.
So it's been publicised.
He hasn't stood up and championed the small guy against the big guy.
Well, we listen to completely. Down with Labour, says our pocket socialist Ian, mate. Good luck. Should we do a quick rousing chorus of the red flag before you jog on?
Here's the thing, right? O'Brien is a complete and utter fucking hypocrite. Because what did he do when Jeremy Corbyn was leading the Labour Party? Basically constantly fucking criticising him.
Well, the thing is...
right, and now he's complaining about people criticising Starmer, because Starmer's his man, right?
Yeah.
I know what some people say, oh, this infighting in the left is not good. No, it's not. But I hope Ozma would agree with me, but I have been very specific as to the problems, which have come from Starmer's leadership of the Labour Party.
Well, there needs to be accountability. The thing is, you can't have no accountability.
No, it's not. Well, Boris, basically, because basically Keir Starmer's not offering any fucking opposition. You're right. There is no accountability. The Tories are not facing any account. The Tories aren't. Excuse, I've got hiccups. Take over.
So the Tories aren't facing accountability. That's true. But also, one of the things that was mentioned before that the person was trying to bring up is that even if people can know about something and know that something bad is occurring, if you don't have someone in the political party, someone who can actually do something about it, or at the very least someone who can seem to do any amount of anything about it, it's like, well, you don't feel like that party's fighting for you. You can't really fight for a party that's not fighting for you.
Well, I feel I can't.
If they're just gonna kick you when you're down, like, what the fuck is the point of supporting them? It's very easy to feel that way. And how the fuck do you expect people who are getting fucked over by government policies to support a party that's not going to fight for them getting any recompense for that?
Well, I mean, one thing which I can't support Starmer and Labour is the fact that Starmer refuses to get off the fence about trans rights.
Yeah, trans rights are human rights. It's not that complicated, but, but with all the fucking shit in the UK, he's just like looking at all the anti-trans shit, and Keir Starmer is just like, I don't want to say any sort of real position because otherwise I might not be as liked by these people who hate trans people.
Yeah, exactly. And so fuck him, because the Labour Party is supposedly meant to be the party of social justice and equality, and it is the party which trans people look to. And he is, actually, there are some articles I've seen basically saying he could actually lose the LGBTQ vote entirely by basically sitting on the fence.
Yeah, this is why it's important. Like, intersectionality is like one of the most important things if you want to make any sort of social change. And you can't shove intersectionality to the side like that.
Right. Now, so there seems to be a campaign to get this is not the fucking first time this has happened. The Canary is a left-wing news site, and there have been various campaigns to get it shut down because it basically won't shut up about certain things. And it's come from both times at least now on 2 occasions. And this is the latest one. So... yeah, let's have a bit of we can actually listen to this article, so let's have a bit of a listen to it rather than me have to read it out.
Exclusive. Labour right linked to campaign to shut down the Canary.
On the 2nd of August 2019, an anonymous internet campaign named Stop Funding Fake News, SFFN, celebrated its apparent success in downsizing the Canary. For 6 months, SFFN had been trying to demonetize the Canary by lobbying companies to remove advertisements from its website. SFFN CEO Imran Ahmed has also worked closely with a number of Labour figures previously involved in the campaign to remove Jeremy Corbyn as party leader. Rachel Riley, a prominent supporter of SFFN, is listed as a patron of the Centre for Countering Digital Hate.
You probably don't know who Rachel Riley is.
No, I don't.
Right. Well, basically, she's a game show host, essentially, but she happens to be Jewish, and she's decided to take it upon herself to go after Jeremy Corbyn, about anti-Semitism, and well. Essentially, people like the Canary, Squawk Box, and Evolve Politics, and Electoral Intifada, these are sort of very left-wing news sites who basically spoke up and defended Jeremy Corbyn. Now, I know that John Mann, who's a former Labour MP, who's Jewish, who is supposedly now the government's anti-Semitism czar, has said that they should look into closing these sites down. They are accusing them of perpetuating fake news, which is bullshit. Look, you want fake news, go to fucking Infowars, okay? Which we'll get onto in a little while because, well, Fox News is acting like Infowars now, right? These...
Shock.
No, the people who I know the person who runs this site, right, is a journalist, right? And you read the articles, and they do come with sources. They do come with what's the word? Oh God, I forgot the fucking word. Citations. That's it. So it's bullshit. Basically, they just don't like, left-wing news sites having an influence on the Labour membership, right? Or voicing what the left of the Labour Party are thinking, essentially. That's basically it. Yeah, they don't want sites, and we'll get on to the next story. They also don't want sites criticising the Israeli government. That's the other thing.
Yeah, and the Israeli government is a big problem. I mean, it's not good for the Israeli government to go fascist.
Well,
and
all right,
yeah.
Okay. So a guy called Nathan J. Robinson, who's actually American, funny enough, saw an interview with him about this. He was a columnist for The Guardian, which is a very well-respected newspaper. I am a Guardian reader. It does lean somewhat left, though it does give platforms to TERFs sometimes. Oh, by the way, I need to answer. So someone made the point to me last week because I included a news story, I think on Friday, from the Morning Star. And yeah, the Morning Star has given a platform on several occasions to TERFs. But you see, here's the thing. So as a Guardian, right? And sure, there are some news sites I generally do boycott, Infowars being one of them, because it's not just, anti-Semitic as fuck. It's also homophobic, racist, generally, transphobic, definitely. Yeah, and basically everything that comes out of Alex Jones's mouth is, 95% bullshit lie, okay? But The Guardian is a very well-respected newspaper. And bear this in mind. So, I remember watching the documentary. It must have been about 15 years ago. And it was about the Israeli lobby's influence on the British government. And basically, one of the stories in it was that the then Guardian editor said that we had basically they published a story exposing the IDF committing severe human rights violations against the Palestinians. And next thing he knew, right, some person from the Israeli embassy turned up in his office with a few thugs to bully him. Right? So the Guardian was always the voice, Guardian's a progressive voice, has been critical numerous times against the policies of the Israeli government towards the Palestinians. Yet has sacked Nathan J. Robinson, and I'll show you the tweet because he has included it. He was sacked for this tweet. Did you know that the US Congress is not actually permitted to authorize any new spending unless a proportion of it is directed towards buying weapons for Israel? It's the law. Now, that's a joke, right? That's a fucking satirical joke. But I can see why people might think it's anti-Semitic. Let me explain.
Yeah.
Right, okay, let me explain. I think obviously you would already know. If he'd said Israeli government, I think that would have been fine. Okay? It wouldn't be considered anti-Semitic. But because he said Israel, it's criticizing the Israeli state. That is considered anti-Semitism. This is what I've always said, that this is going to be the confusion over the International Holocaust Memorial Alliance's definition of anti-Semitism, because they're saying you can't criticize the Israeli state, though you can criticize the Israeli government. Well, obviously,
although it doesn't help that that place has made it so if you criticize Israel, the Israeli government for some of their actions because of who they're mirroring, that's considered anti-Semitism.
Yeah. Now he did actually offer this diagram to back up what he's saying. Here's U.S. military aid, right? Vast proportion, a total of $3.18 billion, right, dollars, goes to Israel, more than any other nation, right? So obviously, the Israeli government do receive an awful lot of, weaponry and fuck knows what else, military equipment from, the US government. So what he's saying is actually truck and true. But maybe just the way he put it. I don't think he should have been sacked for this. Yeah, it just seems... it seems to me that the Guardian are now running scared. And that, no newspaper should fucking have to do that.
So, a similar thing happened... the thing about... In the United States, the crackdown on that stuff hasn't been as severe, which has been helpful. Something similar happened to Ilhan Omar. Ilhan Omar had gotten criticism for the phrasing of stuff for a similar type of tweet at some point, and Ilhan Omar isn't anti-Semitic.
No, she's not. Definitely not. I think the trouble is that some people seem to think that if you criticise the Israeli government in the slightest now, that's anti-Semitism. In fact, Benjamin Netanyahu said when the International Criminal Court was starting to investigate him for war crimes that this was anti-Semitic. No, it's fucking not. Don't pull that one. You're not above the fucking law, Benny. BB, sorry. That's how people refer to him, isn't it? BB. He's probably saying that because he's got an election to win in a few weeks' time, which he probably isn't going to win. I mean, this is the fourth fucking general election in Israel in the last 2 years. And every time it always ends up with a coalition fucking government which falls apart. All right. Right, so we're moving on to Texas freezes.
Oh, that guy.
God. Okay, not, cause Biden's only just got into the fucking White House. The Texas legislature is GOP. It has a GOP majority. They have a GOP governor, and generally energy policy. Yeah, sure, there is some federal involvement. I know, but can I just remind you, as I said, Biden's only just got in the White House, so it was Trump, who was basically dictating federal policy towards energy. And
this sort of stuff happens.
At a local level, it's been the fucking GOP.
Yeah.
So don't give me this bullshit. Yeah, it is bullshit. Okay, stop spreading. We're going to get into some very sort of bullshit lies territory about this, as you'll see.
Wait, are you saying that the Conservative Party lies? Oh, no.
Yeah. Right, if it's not Marjorie Taylor Greene...
but I've been voting for the Conservative Party my whole life. I voted for Trump. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not gonna. I actually voted for Hillary because I was that concerned about Trump.
Right. Okay. So Biden needs to lift the oil and gas ban. What fucking oil? There's no fucking oil and gas ban. What the fuck is she talking about? No one's not fucking bothered. I mean, as I said, she's the other, female nutcase in the GOP along with Marjorie Taylor Greene. And let's not, Marjorie Taylor Greene might not have said it, but we all know that she probably thinks, as well as, having a space laser, us Jews have access to a weather modification, weapon, HARP, I think it's called. Well, actually, Ozma would know all about that. She's been busy, making it snow.
I mean, it's been nice winter weather out. I say, opening my window to the camera, which is not on.
Yeah. Don't let the neighbourhood see your true reptilian self. What have I told you about that before?
Said don't do that.
Yeah.
Said keep the window blinds up.
Yeah. The Green New Deal.
I'm sorry.
And she says here, the Green New Deal was just proven unsustainable as renewables are clearly unreliable. The Green New Deal hasn't been implemented.
Yeah.
Fuck's sake! Stop. This is bullshit, and bullshit.
Yeah.
And I'm going to get seriously angry because this is just a tip.
That's what she said. Sorry.
Right. So, this is a meme from some Trumpian. To all Texas liberals, I hope you enjoy the taste of what it's like to live under socialism. But I'll show you what it's like to live under capitalism in Texas.
Well, yeah, that's...
Yeah, capitalism, brilliant, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, brilliant, Lots of stuff to buy. Oh no, wait. Yeah, this is neoliberal capitalism. First come, first serve, fuck the vulnerable. Yeah?
Yeah, and,
Yeah. There was another video.
I really want some roast chicken now. Sorry, my mind went to that. My mind went to food for a quick second there.
This is what they accuse of socialist countries like Venezuela of being like, right? This is fucking Houston, Texas.
Yeah.
Yeah, and empty fucking shells every fucking way. This is the problem we had with when the first lockdown happened. People basically all the fucking middle class people in their fucking station wagons and fucking SUVs turned up, hoarded their fucking everything, and by the time disabled people could get that to the fucking supermarket, there was fuck all left. The people who most in fucking need. There was actually another video I saw. I couldn't find it. I saw it and then I forgot to bookmark it. But basically, there was a queue round the supermarket parking lot, and there was a limit on up to 15 items. By the way, I wonder what gun sales are like in Texas at the moment, because you know that that's going to be the first thing various rednecks are going to think about, isn't it?
You know what? I'm not sure, because, if COVID has shown anything, everyone wants to buy all the toilet paper here in America.
No. What I'm saying, I don't know. Did you see the video of Alex Jones going about shouting at people?
No, I might not have.
All right, I'm going to have to show this to you. So I did show this on Friday. Sorry if people have already seen this. Let me see if I can find it. Because this is... Jones is a very wealthy guy, right? But rather, actually, it's the same accusation with, of course, let me find it. Here it is. Yeah, there it is.
I want all of you to know that these lockdowns aren't...
This is his answer. Right? So when Texas is freezing, what does he do? Go out in his battle fucking tank and shout at people.
Never gonna end. This is
at some, I think it's Wendy's
Yeah, no, that's
part
a
of the
Wendy's.
lockdown. This is part of the control. And until you wake up to the fact that you're under technocracy attack, God bless you, brother.
Technocracy?
Until you wake up to that, it's only going to get worse.
We're not looking for trouble. But I was driving by from the
So why are you going around shouting? For fuck's sake.
ERCOT place that turned our power off.
By the way, have you noticed how Alex Jones's head has just got bigger and bigger, but his beard has stayed the same? That's something I've noticed about him.
Oh, I haven't.
Yeah.
And most people were waving at us. They're listeners. We love them. This guy jumped out of his car, was flipping us off. So come here. I'm not looking for trouble. I'm going to go talk to him and see if he can actually talk. Let's go over here. Hey, we're here.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Isn't Alex Jones meant to be a big, tough, Texan? He's getting triggered by someone giving him the bird. Fuck's sake.
Are you able to talk other than your one IQ point? You like the power cut off? You like Enron running these scams?
But Enron went bust fucking almost 20 years ago. Fuck's sake.
Enron 2.0, or are you too stupid? So, here I am. No, look at the big man. You're jumping out of your car earlier. You're a big man. You're a big man. You like ERCOT? You like Enron? You like old folks freezing to death? You like being...
Well, Alex, if old people are freezing to death, why aren't you handing out blankets and soup? I mean, you've made millions from fucking grifting, fucking gullible, fucking rednecks who need an excuse as to why their life is so shit with all your fucking conspiracy theories. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
How about giving back to the fucking community? Because you don't, do you?
You lined up in Wendy's, you fucking, liberal, you authoritarian, you're not a liberal. Check it out. Come here. Oh yeah, look at you, man. Yeah, you're so tough. Look at you. Hey, you gonna take your vaccines? You gonna get all your little travel passes? Yeah, you flip this off.
Yeah, he's gonna get a vaccine, and so that he doesn't fucking spread fucking COVID. Here's the hilarious thing about Jones, right? He doesn't believe in climate change. And he doesn't believe in COVID-19. He thinks both are a hoax. Does he look like he's got a scientific mind? Does he sound like he's got a scientific mind?
Well, I mean, you can't necessarily tell based off of how they sound, but I have honestly been somewhat distracted by sympathizing because of how much I'm sympathizing as the two people in the car laughing at Alex Jones.
Well, that's about all you can fucking do with Jones.
They're probably lying saying we came over to you. You flipped us off and you asked for it. Are you even, oh yeah, you bet I question public events. I'm not running death camps in China like Apple. Are you upset about Apple running death camps in China? Or you like Xi Jinping? Get his little snake face. Look at this guy's snake face, man. Want to be intellectual, total loser.
Want to be intellectual. Yeah, Jones, because you really are the fine example of an intellectual, aren't you? Not.
Yeah, no. It's one of those things.
There's another video from a few years ago in Seattle, and someone did the same thing to him, but it's really funny because Jones, runs after them down the street, and watching Alex Jones run is, well, it's a sight to be behold. It really is a sight, and he basically says the same thing. You want to be into, you dumbass into, you pseudo, he really does have an inferiority complex about the fact that, well, he's not very intelligent.
Well, the thing
I mean, he's intelligent in the fact that he's managed to manipulate people and grift them, but he knows fucking nothing about anything really.
And he sits there and acts tough and flips people off. So here I am, big guy. Hey, listen, I'm not trying to make you fear me. You're the one flipping me off. I'm out here warning people about who turned, you know about Enron turning the power off and running blackouts.
Right. That is actually true. Yes, that's right. Alex Jones says something which is true. But it didn't happen in Texas. It happened in California. They did. And there is actual evidence of them doing that. I've seen the Alex Gibley documentary, Enron, Smartest People in the Room. Worth watching. Alex Gibley does make some interesting documentaries.
Scams. Enron. You don't know what Enron is? Get his face. Look at him. He's so
How is he going to know what Enron is? Enron went bust like 2002, 2003, wasn't it? Right? The guy's, what? Possibly 17, 18 years old?
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it's... Jones, you really are an arsehole. But, you know... It's,
Wait, if you don't mind, I need to post a picture of Alex Jones in his younger days.
Do you want me to share screens?
Well, no, you can. I linked it in chat.
Oh, did you? Let's have a look. I'll have to have a look at this. We'll take a bit of a break, folks. Hold on. Where is it? Where's the chat? Oh, there it is. Sorry. Come on. Thank you. I can't see it.
Oh, sorry, I meant YouTube chat. I'm gonna. Link
Put it. Oh, you put it in YouTube chat, did you?
Well, there, I can link it in regular chat too.
Hold on, no, that's all right. I got it.
I couldn't stop.
Yeah, people. People are going to go, what are you fucking laughing at? Well, go and check out the chat on YouTube. That is funny. Right. Right, okay. What are people saying? Actually, we've got quite a lot of activity in chat.
Yeah, I was, going back and forth a little and having intelligent conversation on both ends.
Yeah, the Alex Jones video is prize. Check out the one from Seattle. That's even funnier. Yeah. I mean, it's all cringe with Alex, but sometimes you just, as I said, the only thing you can do with Alex Jones is just laugh at him because he is such a fucking buffoon. Anyways, on with the show. So basically, fuck all in the supermarkets. Well, Texas breed. So there is a conspiracy, right? And in fact, this is Rick Perry, the governor of Texas, and he has really sunk to Alex Jones's level. Just listen to what he says.
How the Green New Deal would be a deadly deal for the United States of America.
What good is it?
Sean, this shows how the Green New Deal would be a deadly deal for the United States of America. Texas is blessed with multiple sources of energy, such as natural gas and oil and nuclear, as well as solar and wind. But you saw from what Trace said, and that is our wind and our solar got shut down, and they were collectively more than 10% of our power grid. And that thrust Texas into a situation.
No, it's less than 10%. The vast majority of Texas's energy comes from fossil fuels. Right?
Oh,
and the reason, and I know people have taken photos of wind turbines freezing. The reason that happened is because the electric companies have been trying to cut corners and haven't weatherproofed those wind turbines. We will see that wind turbines can work in snow, but basically the whole stick with Fox News, and I've got various examples of this, is that the eco-energy, green energy, is to blame. This has sunk to Alex Jones's level because I saw a headline on Infowars which said green energy is to blame for the blackouts in Texas. Right?
Yeah.
So that's the first. I offered that into evidence. That's the first one. Here's Another excerpt from Fox News.
And there's a lesson here. The lesson is we cannot go down this road, Laura, of green energy and there's a lesson.
See, we can't, blaming green energy when green energy has fuck all to do with this. Okay?
Yeah.
Well, actually, and fossil fuels have everything to do with it. Why the fuck do you think that, Texas is getting freaky fucking snowstorms?
Wait.
It wouldn't be because of climate change.
Oh, no.
That's right. Us Jews, we don't have weather modification machine. We do have a space laser, though. Yeah. It's snowing over fucking Houston, because of global fucking, climate change.
Yeah, and it's a big problem that honestly may be too late to fix, and people in general don't really want. Well, there are some people who don't want the eradication of the human species, and there are some people who don't care so long as they can have their fancy little meals and
well, of course. Remember what Ben Shapiro's advice is about climate change. If your house gets flooded because of climate change, then you can always sell it.
Oh my God! Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
And it's Tucker Carlson.
Oh, Tucker Carlson is like.
Oh, by the way, before we get on to what Tucker Carlson says, because guess what, it's pretty much the same as every other Fox News presenter saying about this. But Tucker Carlson was having a go at Jill and Joe Biden being in love, and I can't help thinking, is that because he's not getting any nookie at the moment?
I don't know. I remember when society actually celebrated love.
Yeah.
So, unbeknownst to most people, the Green New Deal came to Texas. The power grid in the state became totally reliant on windmills. Then it got...
No! That's a blatant fucking lie!
Yeah.
Absolute lie! You are Tucker... Well, we know that Tucker Carlson has been seeking to Alex Jones's level for some time now. That's just a blatant fucking lie! And here's another. I know some people say, well, why am I showing all these? Just to prove this is what Fox News. You gotta understand, right? Most people who probably watch this stream are on the left and probably laugh at Fox News, okay? As, I can understand, right? But there's an awful lot of people who watch Fox News, right, in America, right? And they lap up the shit they say. And if they're telling blatant lies, that is fucking dangerous.
Yeah, and they get away with it with a legal workaround, because most of Fox News is news commentary. So when they actually talk, most of what we see that's the awful shit that they're saying is news commentary. And when it comes to like actual news stories where they have to focus on facts and they can't lie like this, Fox News actually does an okay job. So because they do that, and because of the mix of it, it's easier for people to get sucked into Fox News's extremely conservative bias because of the news commentary.
Right, so just have a listen to this.
Does AOC think we're stupid? The bottom line is you had windmills that froze. We have windmills because of concepts and policies that come from the Green New Deal. And so windmills don't work when it's freezing. And
so what's that then? Oh, look. Those are windmills in Iowa where it's freezing. And they're fucking working.
Yeah.
Stop lying. You know, I mean, the other thing that people just don't get is why are they pushing pushing all this? Well, it's because, well, Rick Perry is definitely in the pocket of the fossil fuel companies. You know, Fox News, definitely. You know, Alex Jones. Well, here's the thing. Alex Jones, I've heard a lot out of him about, you know, how bad George Soros is, but I've never heard anything out of him about the Koch brothers. And the Koch brothers have all sorts of dodgy fucking interests in fossil fuels.
Yeah.
This is why.
Well, the Koch brothers have actual power, and George Soros is just like a random. I don't think George Soros has more than like $4 billion, and the Koch brothers have something like $100 billion. It's like not even comparable.
So, Ted Cruz, senator for the district affected in Texas. And what does he do when, you know, the shit hits the fan, you know, people are freezing to death, and, there's rolling blackouts? Oh, he fucks off to Mexico on a holiday.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, basically, and now we're going to get to his excuses in a minute, but a lot of conservatives are saying, why is this, you know, why are the left making so much out of this? Well, here's the thing. He's a political leader, right? Yeah, people have elected him, right? They have certain expectations, and the expectation is that when there's a crisis, you don't fuck off and leave people to, you know, basically die. Right?
Well, I mean, it depends on the nature of the crisis. Obviously, if they're invading the Capitol with a large group of people, you do kind of have to fuck off to survive. But if we're talking about this sort of situation where you are supposed to be understanding, you know, the hardships of the common folk in America, and if you're fucking off, then you clearly don't. You don't care about the people who vote for you. Just care about outside of whether or not they vote for you.
Well, yeah. The thing is, conservatives, and then the other thing you hear is conservatives. Well, you know, his first priority is to look after his family, because he took his kids, didn't he, and his wife down to Mexico. Well, I'm sure, you know, even if they were left in Texas, they were going to be, you know, far better off than any other fucking family.
Yeah.
Your ordinary, you know, blue collar family living in Houston.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a guy who's probably eyeing up running for president in 2024. And I hope this comes back to fucking haunt him, because, you know, it'd be like, so, if America's under attack, what will Ted Cruz do? Oh, I know, fuck off to Canada, where he was born. So how the fuck can he run for president in the first place, which is the question I'd ask. No, it's not the John McCain. I know some people are going to say, yeah, well, John McCain was born in Panama. Yeah, John McCain was born in Panama when America controlled the 10-mile zone surrounding the Panama Canal. So that counted as U.S. territory at the time. My understanding is Rick Perry was just born in Canada. You know, he wasn't born on any Air Force base or any of that bullshit. So how the fuck can he run for president? Is you know, because according to the Constitution, you have to be born in the United States. Because some people are going to go, oh, you're racist because he's Hispanic. Well, no, I'm not. I'm just saying, you know, we're always told by fucking conservatives, you know, obey the Constitution, and, you know, they're supporting Ted Cruz, who was born outside the United States, not on U.S. territory, and thus, you know, that basically means he shouldn't be able to run for president. If you want to amend the Constitution, fine, do so. No, I wouldn't mind. And we don't have that rule here. You could be born outside the United Kingdom and become Prime Minister. Right. So he did return only because it made him look bad. And, well, there's several interviews. In fact, I saw one where he's actually, basically you could see snow in the background. I saw somebody, they mocked up a picture of Jack Nicholson from The Shining. Very funny. Yeah, I get it. But, yeah, let's just listen to what he has to say.
Down there, I started to have second thoughts almost immediately because the crisis here.
Bollocks! Bullshit! You only came back, dude, because it was making you look bad. It really was.
In Texas, you need to be here on the ground, and as much as you can do by phone and Zoom, it's not the same as being here. And so I returned this afternoon, and I'm here working to make sure to do everything we can to get the power turned on, but also fundamentally to ask the questions: why did this happen? Are girls at?
By the way, his when he last run for Senate, I think in 2018, his opponent, Beto O'Rourke, whatever his name is, he's actually been going round house to house, handing out food and stopping people from starving and freezing. Yeah, that's what he's been doing. Ted Cruz fucks off to Cancun. Just remember that. Yeah. Next time when he's up for re-election, just fucking remember that, all right? But you won't. You'll fucking vote this corrupt cunt back in. Oh, and this has come back to haunt him. Well, at least he admits he's got no defence. Yeah, he was mocking the Californian power cuts. Yeah, come back to sting you in the arse, mate.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe you should think, a bit more before you, post a tweet. Just saying. Oh, this is funny. This is a parody of his communications director.
Cruz is in Cancun right now, but here at his offices we say big whoop. Senator Cruz deserves to relax, unwind, unplug, recharge, like you would a power outlet. Or his power grid's going to go out, and we can't be having that. That's too important. So he's got to take care of his light, which comes from the inside. And it's just like, why can't he have his eat, pray, love moment like everybody else can? It's just funny to me. It's funny that whenever he's here in America and he's doing his little jokes on Twitter, everybody says, "Go away, Ted, we hate you." But then when he goes away to Cancun, everybody says, "Well, where's Ted? Why isn't he doing his little jokes on Twitter?" Now, sometimes you just don't know what you got till it's gone, and that should be a lesson for the Americans wondering where Senator Ted Cruz is at this moment.
I thought that was funny.
Yeah. No, that's also sorry. Sorry if it's a bit quiet. I was actually looking up why it is. It's because one of Cruz's parents was American, and she Ted Cruz's mother is American, and she satisfied enough. She lived enough in America around the time of Ted Cruz's birth that he counts.
Right. Okay.
There's actually like a whole set of various things.
Right. So it's kind of. I think that's taken from Titanic, right?
Yep.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, Ted Cruz would do the exact same thing as that guy from Titanic.
Yeah. Right. Okay. This is why Ozma's here, because
Benny. Yeah. Benny is here. Well, I mean, Benny's not here. Sorry, Benny is here on the screen that I am looking at. But
yeah. So, as per fucking usual, with Ben Shapiro, He rushes to defend the indefensible. So Ben Shapiro says it's not a real-time crisis that Ted Cruz... sorry, it's not a real-time... It seems real-time crisis to me. The senator from Texas can do anything about... Well, he can. He can organise a relief package, from the federal government. Yeah. He can organise, various, liaise with, the White House and whatever else. Do they expect Ted to go there with like a blowtorch and start defrosting? I mean, this is typical of the right wing. They always say things like this. And
it's not something that different from what Keir Starmer would say.
Also, Benny said this. This is another typical thing from a right winger. Between Pelosi eating ice cream while people head to the bread lines, and Pelosi getting a blow dry while business owners are banned from opening. She's definitely got a Marie Antoinette thing going on here. Well, if he's trying to sort of say, the left is just as bad, look, we're not talking about the left, dude. Okay? We're talking about Ted Cruz. Okay? That's the problem. It's always deflection with the right, right?
Well, yeah, and also it's deflection, and it seems like projection from some of them, like Benny here, because I bet Benny is saying this because he wants like a fancy haircut.
Anyways, so they've all been having a go at AOC. Oh, hold on a moment. Have I missed it? No, sorry. We'll get to AOC in a minute. So, MSNBC, right, basically had a response to Ben Shapiro, and it's actually perfect. Just watch.
Well, you can almost understand that from Ted Cruz's perspective, what exactly is the big deal? I mean, Ted Cruz sees his job as basically being a guy who records a podcast, goes on Fox News, and tweets snarky jokes. And increasingly, that's what being a conservative politician is. It's a form of performative trolling. And what is he supposed to do about a frozen pipeline anyway?
I get that it's bad optics for Ted Cruz to take his family on vacation to Cancun right now. It even sounds bad. But let's be real about this for just 1 second. This is one of the stupidest aspects of our politics. Like, what exactly? It's not a real-time crisis that Ted Cruz, the senator from Texas, can do anything about. Did they expect Ted to go there with, like, a blowtorch and start defrosting all of the pipelines?
Just an amazingly revealing statement from a conservative professional talker about what conservatives think governing is. Like, yeah, what's he supposed to do? Senators have constituent services. They have deep networks of powerful people. They can liaison between different levels of government. They can marshal resources. They can highlight problems to federal officials. There are a million things a senator can do in the middle of disaster. If they don't know what to do, just go door to door and check on people in a mask. But none of that appears to interest a politician like Ted Cruz, who sees himself as basically Rush Limbaugh with the Senate office.
But yeah, that was a perfect response to Ben Shapiro.
Yeah.
We've got more on Benny coming up.
Well, Benny seems to get owned by any sort of actual professional news agency.
The thing is, right, if it did say MSNBC, I thought that would be some sort of sketch from what's the show on not the Daily Show, the one on HBO, not Real Time. There's another one.
Oh, are you talking about John Oliver's show?
Yeah. I would have thought it was.
My brain just completely shut. I just saw a notification for a new episode on Last Week Tonight. Is it Last Week Tonight?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, well, I would have thought that was a sketch. Yeah, because he's basically taking a piss at Ben Shapiro and Ted Cruz. Yeah?
Yeah.
So, yeah, let's talk about AOC. So they're all blaming AOC for the rolling blackouts. Well, they blame her for fucking everything. Well, guess what? She's been raising money for people affected. In fact, according to Dusty Smith, I watched his show on Friday, or from Friday. I actually watched it Saturday. AOC's actually raised more than this now, right? This is what she's been doing. Ted Cruz fucks off to fucking Cancun. Ben Shapiro whines, and, well, she actually rolls her sleeves up and, does shit.
Yeah, what could he possibly do in a crisis? Meanwhile, AOC raises $1 million while Ben Shapiro bitches.
Yeah, exactly. Man, it's our media is not much better, but it is somewhat better. But, fuck's sake, this isn't going to get reported on fucking Fox News, is it? No, they're just going to, say she's the one to blame for the rollouts in Texas. It's got fuck all to do with it.
Yeah.
The reason the rollouts in Texas have happened is because, the energy companies have been able to get away with, cutting fucking corners because the GOP have not given, have loosened regulations, so there's been no fucking oversight.
Yeah. Jeez. And the whole reason for oversight, the reason the FDA and oversight committees were originally made was because of people getting terrible diseases and shit from the product. So,
yeah. Well, have a guess who Benny's been talking to.
Gina Carano.
All right, hold off a minute. I'll play it, and then I'll come back to you.
But it's usually hot blood when it deals with people being bullied. I don't have a problem with power. I have a huge problem with abuse of power.
She's blinking her eyes and in trouble. Here comes Carano. She got hit right in the nose, folks.
Trained in Muay Thai and with an impressive 7-1 record in mixed martial arts competition, Gina Carano is seen as the face of women's MMA, paving the way for fighters like Ronda Rousey and Amanda Nunes. In 2009, she left professional fighting, but the reputation she carved out led to Hollywood action stardom. From her front and center role in the knockdown drag-out thriller Haywire,
which is actually a good film, by the way. I have seen it.
Yeah.
It's a good film.
Was superhuman with incredible strength and invincibility in Deadpool, and most notably as crowd favorite Cara Dune in the hit Disney Plus show The Mandalorian. Gina also happens to be a conservative, but she sure isn't shy about it either. Having been very vocal in 2020 on masking mandates, voter fraud, Black Lives Matter, and a particular note right now that's silencing and outrage for those with different views, there was heat from the Twitter mob repeatedly, often using the hashtag #FireGinaCarano. The hashtag swung back around last week. This time, Disney did just that. Gina has since been fired by Lucasfilm, which is owned by Disney, and has been removed from their flagship show, The Mandalorian. Their statement reads, quote, "Where social media posts denigrating people based on their cultural and religious identities are abhorrent and unacceptable." She was dropped by UTA, the talent agency that repped her. She joins us today to unpack this unbelievable move and Hollywood's hypocrisy. We discuss how things escalated to this, if you should be canceling your Disney Plus account.
Hold on. So, Ben Shapiro, who complains about cancel culture, is saying that people should cancel Disney Plus.
Yeah, he is advocating for cancel culture.
And he's doing it without any sense of fucking irony.
Yeah, and also, look, I have a problem with Disney owning everything. That said, look, I enjoyed WandaVision. I have enjoyed it a bunch, and it's a fun show. And
which trended to the top of Twitter when the news of the firing broke, and whether or not this is the story that will finally break cancel culture's grip on American society.
By advocating for canceling Disney, yeah.
Hey, and welcome. This is the Ben Shapiro Show Sunday Special. The show is sponsored by ExpressVPN. If you don't like big tech and the government spying on you, you should check out my friends at expressvpn.com/Ben. Quick reminder, We'll be doing some bonus questions at the end with Gina. The only way to get access to that part of the conversation is to become a member. Head on over to dailywire.com, become a member. You'll have access to all of the full conversations with every one of our awesome guests. Gina Carano, thanks so much for stopping by.
Thank you.
Get rid of
I'm not just stopping by. I'm like,
you're part of the thing now.
Right. Okay. First of all, right. What do you reckon Ben uses a bobby pin or a hair clip to hold his yarmulke?
I assume glue.
I used to use a hair clip because.
I used to use two hair clips, one on each side, and to keep the yarmulke on. Yeah.
Yeah, because I once did it with a bobby pin and then he stabbed my bloody head.
Ooh. Yeah. No. We had a bunch of hair clips lying around, and I mean that's what my dad did. So.
So. I haven't,
presumably my mom as well.
Because you've been busy making it snow in Texas, I haven't had you on. I did want to get you on.
I know.
To talk about Gina Carano when the story broke. So, what are your thoughts about Gina Carano, first of all?
Well, I mean, she's an asshole, and although, obviously in the I enjoyed her performance in Deadpool, mostly just because I didn't know her, and obviously people can end up not liking people, sometimes fairly and sometimes unfairly, and in this case it's fair that people dislike Gina Carano, and it's understandable for a company to fire someone who's promoting misinformation as much as she did.
Secondly, the question I asked when the story broke that Ben Shapiro was going to be making movies with her, because that's been in the news, right? Is there an anti-Semite he's not prepared to get into bed with?
No.
He's going.
He's promoted an anti-Semitic organization, the Proud Boys, and he has the thing about Benny is, we all know that deep down Benny wanted to make movies, and he is seeing this as an opportunity. So he wants to make a movie with Gina Carano because he sees that as the only way he can make a movie.
Well, as far as I'm concerned, she's an anti-Semitic piece of shit. Who's again exposed...
Yeah, I forgot about the anti-Semitic shit that she said.
Yeah. And yet again has exposed that Benny is prepared to get into bed with any anti-Semitic piece of shit. I mean, for fuck's sake, if Hitler was around, he'd probably get into bed with him. Though I would imagine Hitler would have jumped back out. I mean, he's really, you and I, I'm sure there are Jews who watch this and will say, we're anti-Semitic and shit. But in fact, I think you and I speak up more for the Jewish diaspora than he fucking does.
Oh yeah, definitely. And the problem is, like, the Proud Boys are openly anti-Semitic, and the fact that, I mean, Gina Carano's tweet was anti-Semitic, and but hers is the you brought up the two forms of anti-Semitic before, Sophia. The hard anti-Semitic
Yeah, it wasn't hard. It wasn't hard anti-Semitism.
It was a soft anti-Semitism. It
Yeah.
was very much.
Yeah.
And also it just sort of dismissed the actual horrible things happening.
Yeah. So, well, you know, I don't know what to say. I just think that Benny, he's going to get unstuck one day. He really is. And I hope it's soon.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. The interesting thing about Ben Shapiro is that a lot of conservative people is that deep down, a part of me just sees them as manipulated people that are working against their best interests, because they are working against their best interests, like 100%. Oh God.
Yeah. Now this, there's a lot of fake accounts popping up. People are sort of posing as ethnic minorities and saying they're conservative, right? It's an obvious ploy to say that conservatives aren't racist, right? But what has happened here is incredibly fucking racist, because someone has got some sort of filter to a photo of Ben Shapiro and blacked up, essentially. I find people who do blackface absolutely abhorrent.
Yeah, and it wasn't. I don't know what's. I don't know what they did, but they did not select the ears.
Yeah, this account has actually now been suspended permanently.
Yeah.
Thank goodness. But this keeps on happening. But it's just that they got caught out because people recognised that was Ben Shapiro. And as I say, I find blackface one of the most abhorrent forms of racism. The only time I ever defended it was with the film Tropic Thunder. If you remember, I think it was who plays Iron Man?
Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah, he blacked up for the film, and there was some controversy about it. But what that was actually saying about how method actors will go too far, right? So that was about the only time I thought, yeah, that's a fair point, and it does, basically say, that method actors do go too far in, getting ready for their roles. So, and by the way, and I will say this, in the past, I have actually defended Ben Shapiro against anti-Semitism. I have done so. I can't remember when it was, but it was a few years ago. I did actually. He was getting a load of anti-Semitic abuse on Twitter, and I defended him. Okay? So, when it comes to it, Ben wouldn't defend me against anti-Semitic abuse, but I will defend him against anti-Semitic abuse. Despite how abhorrent, some of the shit he says about trans people and who the fuck, and whoever fuck else. Anyways. I forgot
just get that off the screen.
I forgot to mention on Friday that Larry Flint died. Now, I know some people are going, who the fuck is he? Well, he was... he ran Hustler magazine, but which was obviously a porn magazine. But he was also a First Amendment advocate. I always suggest people see the film The People versus Larry Flint. Very good film with Woody Harrelson. And in fact, Larry Flint's in it. He plays one of the judges. And this guy was shot for, basically taking on the establishment about the First Amendment. Okay? And freedom of expression. Okay? He was paralysed. So, yes, sad to hear that. He seemed a decent guy. Of course, someone else died last week. Yeah. So, as I pointed out on Friday, Rush Limbaugh is not the only figure on the right wing to believe that the link between cancer and smoking was a conspiracy theory. Ayn Rand did. And in the case of Ayn Rand, despite all her anti-state rhetoric, right, she ended up needing Medicare to pay for her hospital bills, and she died in a hospital, a government hospital, sorry, of cancer because she smoked. Okay? So, now, I have a video of all the shit, some of the shit, sorry, not all the shit, Rush Limbaugh said. Now, be warned, I'm going to give a trigger warning. This is not pleasant, okay? This contains the N-word and the T-slur that I know of, okay?
Oh, I might recommend against you putting that up on YouTube then, because you might actually get in trouble for that.
Dusty played it.
Oh, okay.
So here we go.
One thing that always struck me about Rush Limbaugh, and I think he, in some ways, to his success, was that he meant it. When he said it, he meant it.
Nigga with an A on the end. Well, I think I can now. Isn't that the point? Because it's not racist. That's the point. I could be talking about a male. I could be a Chinese male. A guy at the laundromat.
He defended the traditions of this country, and he spoke for tens of millions of us.
How many of you guys, in your own experience with women, have learned that no means yes if you know how to...
He's defending rape there, by the way.
Yeah, no, that is defending rape. That's 100% defending rape. No means no.
Spot it. They didn't have time. They only had time to put Biden's name on these fake ballots and then feed them into the system. Dominion tabulators. And that they did, they fed an equal number of votes for both Trump and Biden, was spat out of the machine as a 26% lead for Biden.
Meanwhile, Al Sharpton goes out the front door. Yes, I spoke a little Negro dialect there. I can do that when I want to. In and out the front door.
A very decent and nice person, by the way. I'm sure others have said that, but it's true.
Is the cute kid in the White House? No, that's not the kid. That's the kid.
What does it say about the college co-ed Susan Floop?
By the way, I wonder if Peter Gabriel has anything to say about the fact that one of his songs is being played as an intro to a Rush Limbaugh segment on his radio show. Considering that Peter Gabriel is a pretty fervent anti-racist campaigner. See, this is the thing. You listen to Alex Jones or you listen to Rush Limbaugh, and you hear all these musical sort of like in intros, right? And you're wondering, a lot of the sort of music has been played by artists who are fervently anti-bigoted. Yeah.
And they might just not be aware of it. They might not have gotten the best managers. I know, obviously, Trump has played music. When Trump was campaigning, he played music that
Phil Collins
was talked against.
Yeah.
Campaigned against him using it, and
Phil Collins and Queen both sent the cease and desist letters, didn't they, to Trump? And also, famously, Ronald Reagan during one of his campaigns had Bruce Springsteen's "Born in the USA," and Bruce Springsteen did the same. So
and obviously there's also the mega shitheads who sang Rage Against the Machine song.
Yeah, Okay, well, let's get on with this bullshit.
Who goes before a congressional committee and essentially says that she must be paid to have sex. What does that make her? It makes her a slut, right? Makes her a prostitute. She wants to be paid to have sex. If we're going to have to pay for this, then we want something in return, Ms. Fluke, and that would be the videos of all this sex posted online so we can see.
The thing that I think defines him the most, he loved this country. He was a patriot.
The coronavirus has been weaponized by the media and by opponents of Donald Trump as the latest weapon they might be able to use to get rid of him. Hospitals are not being overrun like you're being told. They call it sexual objectification, demeaning, not taking women seriously, but it's just the way of the world. Boys chase girls. But a tiny minority of these protesters, and undoubtedly including some Antifa Democrat-sponsored instigators, did decide to go to the Capitol to protest.
This is an absolute gut punch to conservatives in America.
It is, actually. That's true. I kind of, my first response was, well, Michael Savage or Alex Jones or Sean Hannity will just replace him. But from what I've been told, Rush Limbaugh was actually quite a powerful voice for conservatives with quite a lot of reach. And a lot of people are now saying that he is actually hard to replace. So, well, I imagine they will replace him in time, but at least there'll be some respite for the time being.
To Republicans in America.
You're a foreigner. Shut your mouth or get out. And if you come here illegally, you're going to jail. Political correct society is acting like some giant insult's taking place by calling a bunch of people who are retards. I've been for trannies for a long time. I said, I don't know if you've heard otherwise. Feminism was established so as to allow unattractive women easier access to the mainstream of society. It doesn't look like Michelle Obama follows her own dietary advice. I'm trying to say that our First Lady does not project the image of women that you might see on the cover of the Sports Illustrated swimsuit issue. There are plenty of lard-ass women in politics, and they get a total pass on it.
But if you boiled it down, he cut through a lot of noise and went to an issue beyond the back and forth that we cover every day.
Here you have a black president trying to destroy a white policeman. The media has been very desirous that a black quarterback do well. We're interested in black coaches and black quarterbacks doing well. I think there was a little hope invested in McNabb, and he got a lot of credit for the performance of this team that he really didn't deserve. You put your kids on a school bus, you expect safety, but in Obama's America, the white kids now get beat up with the black kids cheering, yeah, right on, right on, right on. So David Patterson will become the massa, who gets to appoint whoever gets to take Massa's place. So for the first time in his life, Patterson's going to be a massa. Those of us who have studied Kamala Harris, those of us who looked into her background, we know she's not African-American. She doesn't have slave blood. She's not down for the struggle. They have discovered that Obama does have slave blood. It's preposterous that Caucasians are blamed for slavery when they've done more to end it than any other.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I think that's enough of that. I mean, but did you notice how less the air was polluted on Thursday morning after he died?
Yeah, and you are not helping, Sophia, because you have brought the pollution back.
Well, no, I'm just reminding people of the kind of... He was an evil cunt. Also, what's not mentioned here is he used to have a segment on his show back in the 80s and 90s where he would read the list of dead of gays and lesbians who had died of AIDS, and he would like basically rejoice about it with disco music.
Gotcha.
I mean, he was a repugnant, evil cunt. You know, and I'll be honest. Am I weepy? That, of course, I'm not weepy. He died. Yeah.
Yeah.
The world is better off. Yeah. Sorry. One less, white bigot dead. Oh, let's have a party. I mean, I got severely drunk on Wednesday. And the thing is, obviously in this country, maybe people don't know who Rush Limbaugh is. Well, that's probably a good thing, okay?
Yeah. Honestly, it would be better not to know, but it's upsetting how much he influenced the general sort of mindset of a lot of conservative people.
He's the one who helped turn the GOP into being as reactionary as it is, right?
Yeah. I mean, he.
That video is like 6 minutes long. How many forms of bigotry did we hear in it? Racism, misogyny, sexism, transphobia, homophobia. I mean, the guy was just an all-round bigoted fuck.
Yeah.
And yeah, obviously he as I said, an influence on the GOP, influence on talk radio. I mean, I've always said to the people on the left, maybe they should adopt sort of the reactionary style, but to push progressive politics. And I do think, that's kind of, I mean, in some ways, that's kind of what I'm about. I mean, Dusty, I heard that Dusty saying that, Dusty was a conservative. And, he said, well, my style is still, to this day, he's a progressive now, but still, Rush's style is still, to this day, influential on him. Yeah.
Well, yeah, and I mean, in terms of style, I obviously have had influence by conservative people in terms of the artistic merits of because I am capable of stepping back and looking at things and seeing what's good and what's bad. And what's bad is the policies and the positions that conservatives have, and they might know how to present these terrible positions in a good way. And I mean, there's a reason they've been as effective as they have. That's not a good thing.
Yeah. I mean, as I say, I'm not mourning his death. And
yeah.
I'd gladly piss on his grave.
That seems like a lot of work. You have to fly over to America.
Well, I'm sure. But
I mean, it's safer than the UK because UK is managed to outdo America with poor COVID setup, and now that Biden's in, we might actually, the United States might actually be a safer place to visit than a lot of places. So I take that back. It might actually be good for you to come over just to piss on Rush Limbaugh's.
Well, I'm sure champagne sales. There was a surge of champagne sales, and you could hear corks popping, in liberal households come last Wednesday evening. Yeah. Anyways, talking of bigots. Just wait for it to load.
Oh God.
You know what's coming next, don't you?
Yeah, no, I know what's coming next because I look. I'm on trans Twitter, and it's hard not to avoid Graham Linehan, being aware of Graham Linehan's obsessive escapades.
Right. Let me just put this into perspective. So, Graham Linehan, a cis male, posed as a woman to gain entry to a women's only space. What What is it? What is it that TERFs accuse trans women of? Oh yeah, that we're really cisgendered men who pose as women to gain access to women's only spaces, and one of their allies is doing just that.
Look, we all know those people just hate anyone trans. They don't give trans men agency, and they treat trans women like the devil.
Yeah. So I've got one other LGBTQ related news. I mean, the thing is, I'm going to just say this before I move on to that story.
Didn't he claim to be 28 as well on that site?
Just looking through it.
Sorry, I was thinking of Twitter, and it was just one of those things where.
I mean, he probably did. I mean, someone really needs to stage an intervention with this guy. Okay.
Yeah, no, Graham Linehan.
Because
needs
his obsessive transphobic escapades have lost.
It's ruining.
Ruined his life. He's lost his wife. He can't get any work. He's lost all his friends. I just don't get. This is a guy who wrote Father Ted, which was funny back in the day.
Yeah.
I laughed. I did laugh at it. I know our friend Christy didn't like it, but I would say most people I know did like it. It's really, really sad, to see the state of him, to be honest. Well, there's one last story. They're going to be voting on the LGBT Equality Act this week in Congress, aren't they?
Yeah, which, by the way, so here's one of the things about the Democratic Party in America. It is socially left. The Democratic Party in America is very staunchly socially left, even though there is far too much conservative economic policies in it. And Biden has, as much as Biden has faults, like stepping back hardcore with the economic, the student loan relief, the student loan debt cancellation or whatever. Biden, like a lot of the Democratic Party saying 50K and Biden's like saying 10K, which is not good because college is way too expensive here. But Biden is actually fighting for trans rights and fighting for just LGBTQ rights in general, which is a good thing and something that should still be praised.
The other thing is, I think it will get through the House of Representatives, but the Senate I'm not so sure about, because I'm wondering about conservative-leaning Democrats. Will they go for this?
I'm not sure. I really don't know, because when it comes to a lot of things, there were the world is different than it was 10 years ago, and it's significantly different in terms of social policies, and anti-LGBT stuff is less popular in America than it used to be, by a significant margin. And the thing is, a lot of politicians care about what looks good, and supporting LGBTQ rights looks good. So it's hard to say for sure, but there is some possibility of this passing. This has a chance.
Right, well, folks, that almost wraps up another show. Thank you, Ozma, for joining me.
Yeah, no problem. I know I probably will only have Spoons to join you once a week, although Christy did bring up a good thing about compartmentalization yesterday on the Fluid Voice, which I kind of agree with in terms of getting in terms of stuff for me having Spoons, whatever. I can't word. I woke up 20 minutes before this show, so I am going to make some delicious rice and lentil soup because I love rice and lentil soup, and my roommates have a rice cooker, so I can be as lazy as I want to and to flavor the rice nice, and add some Mrs. Dash and some salt and pepper, and put a little extra water there so the rice doesn't dry out, and maybe some butter, and have that with some nice German style lentil soup.
Well, I should be back tomorrow. As I said, it might be at a slightly later time, depending. As I said, I have to wait upon friends of mine to be able to go to the supermarket for me, and of course many of my friends work, so they have to do it in the evenings. In the meantime, don't forget you can help me on Patreon. You can follow me on Twitter. All the links are all below. Also, I have a Facebook group now, which Ozma is an admin on, so behave, because she has a space laser if you don't.
Yeah, I also have a band hammer, so which is much more fun.
Right. If you like this video, give it a like. If you've got any feedback, then drop us a comment down below. Please share this video with your friends. And most important of all, more than Patreon or PayPal or whatever else, please subscribe. It's free. You don't have to watch every video, but it would really, really help me grow this channel. And please get your friends to subscribe as well.
Yeah.
So in the meantime, peace, stay safe, and peace out.